Ficalos o Johnny Walker, que tomou uma diretaça de direita do Henrique Montanha, que tomou uma diretaça, não acabou não, ele levantou, mas agora vai acabar, agora acabou, Henrique Lopes Montanha, dando adversário dele.
Tá nocauteado em pé, Ivan.
O direto de direita duríssimo. Não deu nem pra destacar, ou melhor, eu destaquei. O Johnny Walker é aquele que levou direto de direita. O Henrique Lopes Montanha que foi alucinante pra cima dele. Olha só como ele vai. Impressionante, avassalador. Não acabar. Agora acabou.
Johnny Walker versus Dominick Reyes is the first time in recent memory where not one, but two chinny fighters go against each other. This fight has potential to end in devastating fashion for either one of these fighters. Could we possibly witness the first ever double knockout in UFC history? God, I hope so. Let's start with Johnny Walker. He's a fighter we're all familiar with. He's big, fast, hits hard, but he has one major problem. He can't take a punch directly on the chin without going to sleep. Anytime he fights someone with power, he goes night-night in the center of the octagon. Another problem is, he kind of fights reckless at points and keeps himself super open to big shots. If he does get one off the chin, he's going to go to bed. Johnny's coming off a knockout of Ming Yang Zhang and is looking to build some momentum off of it. The past two fights before that weren't very good for Johnny Walker, and he got knocked out in hilarious fashion against Magomed Ankalaev, and more recently, at the hands of Volkan Ozdemir. Walker might have a tough time against the powerful Reyes, who has the ability to shut anyone's lights out if he can find their chin. If he touches Johnny directly on the jaw, his brain will shut off and go to blue screen. Now let's talk about Dominick Reyes. Reyes actually might have a better shot at staying awake against Johnny Walker than he did against his last opponent, Carlos Ulberg, who slept Reyes badly in a little over 30 seconds. Johnny has the power and the explosivity to crack Reyes and send him into the shadow realm, but he might have to put himself and his super suspect chin in danger to land the shot on Reyes. If I'm being honest, it's kind of hard to predict where Reyes is as a fighter and how much more damage he can take in a fight before his brain just says, okay, I'm done. Time to shut off now. Like, Reyes was building a bit of momentum in the start of 2024, going on a 3-fight run against Dustin Jacoby, Anthony Smith, and Nikita Krylov, before he ultimately faced Carlos Ulberg, who stopped him in the first. Granted, these fighters he went against were older and towards the end of their career, but still got good competition. The thing is, though, with Reyes, after he lost against John Jones, he kinda lost a step, mentally and physically. When he eventually returned to competition and fought for the vacant light heavyweight belt, he got severely beaten on by Jan Blachowicz. He got absolutely beat on for almost 2 full rounds before getting slept. Badly. Jan kicked him so many times in the ribs you could see bruises on Reyes' ribcage as well as 2 badly bruised legs from all the leg kicks. Jan eventually knocked Reyes out in a highly, highly damaging fight for Reyes. Worst part is, his next fight against Yuri Prohaska was arguably more brutal and more damaging for Reyes. Yuri beat on Reyes with heavy punches and kicks which landed on his face and legs over and over again. At the end of the second, Yuri landed a spinning elbow directly on Reyes, causing him to fall lifeless onto the octagon. It was a highlight reel for Yuri, for sure. Or a highlight reel for Reyes, depends upon how you look at it. Reyes' third fight on his skid was at the hands of the powerful, but somewhat shit, Ryan Spann. Spann cracked him with a massive 1-2 to the chin, and let's be honest, Reyes was slept by the jab. The follow-up right hand that barely grazed an unconscious Reyes was kinda really unnecessary to put his lights out. Although, this is the first time Reyes' chin was truly, truly suspect. Jan and Yuri beat on Reyes and eventually finished a battered man. But with the Spann fight, it was the first time we saw Reyes get flatlined by a single hard punch. His brain wouldn't let his body forget the previous 2 beatings. Now, Reyes did go on a winning streak after that against some kind of decent but kind of shitty old fighters, as we mentioned before. He finally started to look like the unstoppable prospect who should have won against Jon Jones. After that, the UFC decided to give him a number one contender fight against the fast and powerful Carlos Ulberg. Ulberg made quick work of Reyes, sleeping him badly in over 30 seconds. After that, I really started to wonder, is Reyes' chin gone? Will sneezing on him make him fall asleep? When it comes to this fight, a Walker versus Reyes, I'm going to kind of lean towards Reyes in this fight. Although I wouldn't put any money on him because one grazing punch from Walker could cause him to do the chicken dance and he winds up getting finished again. The thing is, though, I cannot ever pick Johnny Walker to win a fight. He just doesn't have the chin at all. It's not like he used to have a good chin and got knocked out a few times. He never had one at all. He literally got knocked out 4 times in one fight on the regional scene. Realistically, Johnny Walker should have picked a different sport like football, where you have a slightly better chance of staying conscious. On second thought, maybe he should have just played soccer or baseball. Any sport where his size helps him and he doesn't have to eat shots on his papier-mâché chin. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Reyes by knockout. I'm praying Johnny Walker does a solid like he always does and gets slapped in hilarious fashion. This fight should produce a knockout, but with our luck, it'll probably be a boring decision. But, yeah, that's all from me. Be safe, don't do dope.